The cadence of crew advisory is defined by both predictability and flexibility. A responsive but consistent rhythm that builds belonging and student ownership over time. Each meeting consists of an opening, a main activity, and a closing, with each of the three parts containing common, repeated elements. This structure provides a comforting and consistent container, which can also be responsive to what happens in the group, the school, and the world. In this video, we'll explore common elements within that structure and take a close look at an opening, main activity, and closing of three different crews. Carrie McGee's 6th grade advisory at Boerum Hill School for International Studies, Chris Field's 8th grade crew at Lyons Community School, and Sharice Jones' 6th grade advisory at South Bronx International Middle School. The opening is used to frame the upcoming lesson and ensure that each and every crew member is participating to some capacity. It almost always contains a greeting, check-in, or icebreaker question. These questions often give students an opportunity to share how they are feeling, what is happening in their lives, or something crewmates might not know about.
Feeling number 4.
The opening can also include a framing of the crew meeting, like explicitly naming the learning targets or purpose of the upcoming lesson, a review, discussion, or modification of norms and community agreements at times when this is helpful, a reading, like a quote, excerpt, or piece of media which may also frame the upcoming activity. The main purpose of the opening is to set the tone for the meeting ahead and to provide touch points for students to feel seen and heard.
What is the best thing that could happen if you took a risk and succeed?
The purpose of the icebreaker is to us to feel closer to each other and know other people's mindset.
It makes you feel more powerful by yourself.
Let's go over what our learning target is for today. For today, I can share some facts about myself and learn about my classmates.
It's really valuable as a school community to have students who feel like they know one another, like they're connected to one another, and like their differences are an asset and a value.
So our check-in question, we're gonna start with a prompt. My name is, you fill in the blank with your name or whatever you like to be called. And a little known fact about me is?
Getting to know other people makes it easier to talk to them, and that makes it a safer space to talk about your true emotions, about everything that's going on.
So we're gonna go around like we normally do, and you guys can pick a challenge, a pick. What is your challenge? Or what are you looking forward to, okay?
I wanna hear them stories. They might need some support.
You struggling with math.
They might need maybe support from the students, not even just from me.
He said he's getting more good at it.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get better, right? And then you're gonna be looking forward to math next time.
The main activity could be a game or challenge that builds teamwork or problem-solving skills, a discussion about a recent situation, social issue, or upcoming event, support for students' academic success, a session that helps students plan for the future, a creative project, preparation for service work and civic contributions, and any other activity that builds social, emotional, or academic development.
I want them to play games with each other, interact with one another. It builds their relationship with one another.
Who knows how to play tic-tac-toe already? On paper?
Yes.
What about on the floor?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you just ready.
We need to run, like put the circle or the X like on the middle or like on the side, you know, and like run back to tag the person so they can go next.
My main thing is building a relationship that they can trust each other.
The activities can teach us how to control our emotions, and like everything don't need a reaction to it. So we try to move around and think about other things besides what we're stressing about, and like try to have a little bit of fun.
Everybody see the word first.
I was the person to look at the card that have a word on it. We had to tell them without talking, by body language or like hand gestures. The drawer had to draw what word like the person is telling them.
And then typically when we play an activity, a lot of the things that we do in crew are new to students. Sometimes they are weird to students, and they definitely require students to step out of their comfort zone.
The more that we can encourage students to take safe risks socially in the crew space, the more we see that translated into the academic space. Knowing that if I try something and I fail, I'll have another opportunity to try. I'll have people in the room who have my back rather than people who are going to make fun of me or, marginalize me for not knowing the answer.
Today in advisory first, we filled out a sheet with a bunch of questions like, what's your favorite subject in school, or what do you like to do outside of school? And then we crumpled them up and we got to have a snowball fight with all the papers, so they kind of got mixed up. So then after, we got a random sheet of paper and we had to guess who the person was by only looking at their question answers.
We have needs that are social needs. We have needs that are movement needs. And because of many of the different pressures we have as a school, we're not always able to meet all those needs. But crew advisory is a space where we can be really innovative to give students some more of those other kinetic learning opportunities. And also an opportunity to just take a deep breath and feel like they can just be with one another rather than perform.
The key element in the closing section is a debrief. Some crew advisors may choose to close with a movement-based game, especially if the activity itself was reflective in nature. And the closing of the meeting can also be used for administrative tasks, school-wide announcements, and general reminders. But the debrief should be skipped only on rare occasions, as crew advisory is profoundly strengthened by intentional group reflection.
We got to learn more about others that we didn't really know.
I think the purpose of a debrief is to recap what you did in class so you can have a better understanding of it.
So yeah, I think the debrief is really to build connections to things that we're doing, build connections to the outside world, to make sure what we're doing makes sense.
In order to say something's right, you need to be so.
Synthesizing to me is now I'm getting all teacher jargon, but on the depth of knowledge chart, the synthesizing is 4 in the DOK. It's high up there.
So I think, body language and facial expression.
Yes. This is tic-tac-toe mostly. It's about a teamwork. You need to do teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work.
Ooh. So the debrief is to hear they thinking.
And you need to kind of analyze, you need to see where you're gonna put it. You need to tell your team members, oh, you should put it there. So we discussed it because at first we didn't use much planning or teamwork. We just did it messed up, and then afterwards we look for some really good techniques to use.
Try to put your letter in the middle.
If you put it in the middle, you have more advantage. You could put it in 2 spots. This one.
Cause I know they be so eager to play more. Okay, but what are you getting out of the lesson? What are you getting out of the activity, right? And I think that's the part that students miss a lot. So the debrief helps them think, for the next activity, we're gonna make a plan, or we need to have a strategy, because in life, you have to have a strategy, right? You have to have a plan to know where you're going.
Consistency within a clear structure not only builds a sense of familiarity in crew advisory, it also builds student ownership. By knowing and understanding the purpose of routines, students can add their own creative flair to any given day while maintaining a larger purpose. The opening, main activity, and closing sections provide containers for a variety of experiences, while the consistent implementation of the structure builds trust and belonging in crew advisory over time.